Hello. Today I want to talk about something quite simple you can do to better organize your finances. I for a while used to not really know what the money in my account had been allocated to. So often I'd spend the money thinking I had more money than I did, and then a bill would roll around and I'd end up being sort of broke until I got paid again after I paid this bill. I knew they were coming. These are just standard utilities or rent or things like this, but without sort of understanding at what point my money was required to be saved and at what part of it I could spend or save or set aside for my savings or whatever, I'd end up without the funds set aside when bills would show up. I could of course pay them, but it's nicer to live in such a way that you know how much money you have to spend and you just don't have to think about bills rolling up because you know you've got money sitting aside ready for them when they arrive. So it's a much nicer, less stressed way to live. So it's pretty simple to do this. A lot of people get paid fortnightly, so we'll use that as an example. If you just figure out what your yearly cost is for all your rent and utilities and phone bills and internet bills and all these different things, and if you don't know, you can easily just guess, and perhaps even overestimate slightly. So if you figure out the yearly cost of that, divide it by 26, that gives you the fortnightly cost for all of these things. And then you just put a payment from your main account or your Streamline account or wherever your pay gets transferred to, and transfer that yearly amount of all your expenses divided by 26, which is the fortnightly amount for all your expenses, and put it aside in this second account. And that means when you get paid, immediately out of your pay comes the amount that you need to pay your bills. So you have whatever left over you can use to be saving or spending or whatever it is you do with it. You might also, of course, have a transfer out of the money that you wish to save as well. But that way you know what's in your account. You know that you're not going to have a bill show up and then all of a sudden all is going to disappear. You know how much you can spend or allocate to other things. So, and once you've done this as well, it's pretty simple then from this second account you have, your bills account, to set up automatic transfers. So when the rent's due on that day, you can have it transfer out of that account to your real estate agent. You can have your phone bill come out of that account. I just pay my utilities when they rock up. I just put in so much for it, and when they roll up, I just pay the bill, and I pay it when it arrives because I've got the money sitting there. So it's just a much less stressful way to be about bills. Pretty basic stuff, but I didn't do it for a lot of years. I just knew that I made enough or had enough money to pay them, but I didn't really know how much of the money in my account should have really been allocated to these different things. So that's quite a good thing to do. It's quite I find it quite satisfying to organise these sort of things. Yeah, it's really quite good to have that organised, and you just feel like you know everything's covered basically. You can also put a few things in. Don't forget your rego for your car, so that when that bill rolls around, you've just got the money again sitting there. You've paid a small amount every pay for it, and you just pay it off. You can also put in some smaller amounts for basic car, like things for your car servicing, or even your car tires, things like this. You can even just take a guess at that and a slight overestimate, so that you know you've got, when something happens with your car, you just dip into the account or whatever, and you've allocated money for that. Yeah, so it's just a very simple way to begin budgeting your money. Cool. Okay. Thanks. Bye.